Hi, I am John Wesley, working as a science PGT in APRS school, SN Padu. Hi children, how are you? I hope you are all fine during these pandemic times. Right. Are you following the video lessons that your teachers are uploading? Yes, I think you are doing that. So please follow that so that you will learn a lot of things, not only from your surroundings, but even from your books. Good. By the way, what about your luggage, school bag? Is it okay? Have you ever seen from past year or a couple of years, I think so, you might have thrown your school bags. Did you ever bring that back again? Did you open that and did you check what else are there in your bag? Yeah, I think a lot of papers might be there and a lot of small piece of pencils, worn out pens, and even a lot more might be there, including your erasers and even your sharpeners, isn't it? So when you're coming to school, will you come with the same bag to the school? No, I don't think you will do that. So what do? For cleaning up your bag, you will first separate your books, isn't it? You will separate all the books, clean your bag, and then place the books again into the bag, and then you will come to school, isn't it? Right, very good. So separation is very important in our day-to-day lives. Why? Because we have lot of things that are mixed together. Sometimes in order to have the quality of that material or any substance, we need them to be separated, isn't it? Okay, fine. Today I'd like to go with a small lesson, that is separation of materials. Okay, right. Today let's see something. What are the methods we follow to separate these materials? There may be many. For example, even the food, when you are eating the curry, sometimes you might have thrown away some of the pepper or any tomato discardings, or so many like that, isn't it? So that's very important in our day-to-day life. So anyway, today let's see some of the methods that we follow for separation. Okay, let's see this. Methods of separation. Okay, so this is going to be our topic, and we'll see how different types of materials can be separated. Okay, right, good. Have you ever helped your mummy before cooking her rice? Yeah, some of you might have done that, and it's good to help your parents. Good. Okay, while she's cooking the rice, I think you people might have seen mom separating some of the stones that are mixed up in the rice, isn't it? Have you seen that? Yes, that's right. Okay, so how does she is separating those stones from the rice? Yeah, how she is doing? Yeah, she is only simply picking up with her hand, isn't it? So that's called as hand picking. Okay, so this is also one type of separation of mixtures. Okay, what is that? Hand picking. Okay, so what's hand picking? What is hand picking? What do you think it is? Okay, right. Hand picking means when there is a mixture of different sizes. For example, you might have seen sometimes the pulses along with the stones, isn't it? So pulses has to be separated, or the stones has to be separated from the pulses. If not, what will happen? Yeah, the food that you're eating will be mixed with the stones. So there may be a problem in the mouth and in the stomach. so they are not delicious to eat. So they have to be separated. For that, what our parents are doing, or what a mom is doing, yeah, she is picking up the stones with her hand and then throws them separately, isn't it? So this method is called as hand picking. Okay, so this is possible only when the sizes are different. Okay, can you give some examples for hand picking? Yeah, they are maybe rice and sand, or rice and stone, or pulses and stones, etc. Okay, so there are different methods. Okay, shall you see a small video? Dear children, can you see what is there in this plate? Yes, you can see a mixture of rice along with some stones. Generally, we observe this before cooking the food. I think your mom might have been working with this type of rice just before cooking the rice. Do you know what she is going to do and how she is going to separate these stones from this mixture of rice and stones? Yes, how she is going to separate them? Very good, with the help of hand picking. So this method of separating rice along from the stones is called as hand picking. This method is suitable when the mixture is having the size difference between the particles that have been mixed together. Here you can see the rice is bit larger when compared with the stones. Okay, so what do you call this method of separating the rice from stones? Yes, this method is called as hand picking. Did you observe how hand picking is helping us to separate the mixtures? Good. And now we'll see another type of separation. Okay, that is, have you ever gone to paddy field? Yeah, some of you might have gone. So during the time of harvesting, you might have seen the farmers thrashing the paddy to the stones, and they separate the seeds from the plant. After separating the seeds from the plant, they all collect them, and then sometimes there is a chance for mixing of the husk, which is very light in weight and not a grain. So everything is mixed up there. Sometimes the grains are mixed and sometimes the husk is also. Everything is mixed up. Now, how you are going to separate this mixture? Yeah, with the help of a process called winnowing. Okay, so with the help of a process called as winnowing. So this is the second type of process that you are going to see. Okay, winnowing. So what is winnowing? What is winnowing? Have you ever seen the farmers collecting all the grains along with the husk, and then they will be just shaking these baskets or any pans or any holders which hold these grains towards the wind? It is very good, effectively works on a windy day. Okay, so where there is good wind, so during that time all the husk will be flown away and only the solid grains reaches the ground, isn't it? So that's how winnowing is done. Okay, so the husk and the grain. and grains. All right. So, okay. Now let's see a small video about how winnowing is done. Okay. Right. Now let us look at this process of winnowing. Here you can see a farmer just winnowing with the help of wind and with a fan. Why he is taking the help of a fan? Because there is no proper wind in between the houses. So this farmer is winnowing his paddy and cleaning them from the husk. Okay, yes, you can see how beautifully the air is flowing and the husk is moving away, isn't it? Yes, and the hard grains or the grains which has weight are falling on the ground. Can you see? Yes, see how the air is flowing and the husk is moving away from the grains. Husk is moving away from the grains. Did you see that? Yes, and the grains are falling at the ground on the ground. Okay, so this process is called as winnowing, and this is used for cleaning the rice or the paddy from the husk. Okay, I hope you got an idea about what. Good. I think now we have seen about what is sedimentation, isn't it? Okay. Now, when the water is clear after the sedimentation, now there is another process, that is the separation of water from the sediment. This bottom part, the leftover parts are called as sediment. Do you know why they have settled down at the bottom? Yeah, they have gravity, they have weight when compared with the water, so they reach to the bottom of the glass. Okay, so now this is called sedimentation, or this is called as a sediment. Okay, now how do you separate them? Yeah, now just look at this carefully. Right, I have taken a clean glass now and slowly tilting this glass. Okay, now I get a clear water here. Okay, so this process is called as decantation. So what do you understand by the word decantation? Separating the clear water from the sediment. Separating the clear water from the sediment is called as decantation. So how we can do this? By just tilting the glass over another glass and separating the clear mixture. Okay, so this process is called as decantation. Okay, right, good. Now I hope you understood what is decantation. Okay, so what is decantation? Water gets separated from the sediment. Okay, now I'd like to go with another type of separation method. Okay, right then, I hope you know how chapatis are made. With what it is made? Yes, with the help of wheat flour. So this wheat flour, how do you do that? How do you make chapatis? So before making chapatis, the wheat flour is brought onto a sieve, and then the sieve is sieved and separates the fine wheat flour from the unpowdered wheat. The unpowdered wheat or any small insects, they will be separated, and only the fine particles of the flour will reach the bottom. Okay, so this is called as a sieve. Okay, this method is called as sieving. So sieve has a small fine pores in that. Through that pores, the fine powder reach to the bottom of the sieve. Okay, so this process you call it as sieving. Did you see an image here?
Yes. Do you know what is this? Yes, it is called as a sieve. Okay, and with the help of this sieve, we know that our mom is cleaning the floor, maybe wheat floor or rice floor, whatever it is. Okay, and now you can see in this image also that there are three different types of sieves. Okay, the smaller one, you can see that we can use it for filtering the tea dust from tea. And the other things, they are useful for preparing the, yes, papads and so on, to collect them from the hot oil. Here you can see a man sieving the wheat flour with the help of a sieve. Can you see this? Yeah. Through the small pores, all the flour has gone down, leaving the flour bugs. You can see the flour bugs on this. Okay, that's how we use this sieve.
Okay, did you understand what is sieving? Yes, the fine particles pass through the sieve. Okay, so with the help of this mechanism or with the help of this type of separation, the farmers also separate the large grains from the small grains. Okay, right. I'll go with another type of separation that is called as filtration. Okay, what is it called as? Filtration. So, what do you understand by the word filtration? Yes, sometimes we filter many things with the help of, even if you don't have any objects to filter, even with the help of a cloth, also we can separate the water from dust, isn't it? This process is called as filtration. Filtration has a still more fine pores than the sieve. Okay, so the filter papers, you can see the filter papers in the laboratories for separating some of the mixtures. Okay, so you can see this small experiment.
Now, let us look at the requirements. Take a sand and salt mixture. Now, a stirring rod, filter paper, funnel, conical flask, and a bowl and a beaker. Now, take some salt and sand mixture and stir it well with the help of a stirring rod. Now, add some water to this. Now you can see the salt is dissolved in the water, leaving behind the sand. Now let us see how you can separate that. Take a filter paper. Now fold it into half and then into a quarter size so that it can fit into the funnel. Now you can just separate it and make an arrangement so that it can accurately fit into the funnel. Now fix it and place the funnel with the filter paper on the conical flask. Now take a mixture of sand, salt and water and pour it in the filter paper so that the filtrate can reach to the conical flask. You can see the sand is left behind. The water and the salt. Now as the salt is mixed or dissolved in the water, it became a salt solution, and the salt solution has reached the conical flask, leaving behind the sand. This is called as filtrate. And in the filter solution, you can see salt dissolved in the water. Okay. Now, this is called as filtration process. Okay. Further, you can separate this salt from.
Okay, I think now you understood what is filtration. Okay, right. So a filtration means it's a process of separating through a fine holes. This process. Okay, fine, good. And by the way, do you know how salt is made? Yes, the salt is made from seawater. Do you know how the farmers make the salt from the seawater? Yes, they collect the seawater and leave it to the sunlight. All the water, if they leave it to the sunlight, so from the sea, they collect the water into the lagoons, and then this salt water is kept in the lagoons, and then they are just allowed to the sunlight. Due to this bright sunlight and heat, the water gets evaporated. Okay, so do you know the taste of seawater? Yes, it is salty. So when the water gets evaporated, and at the bottom you can find the salt crystals. Okay, you can find the salt crystals, and they collect the salt crystals and pack them. Okay, so this is how the salt is made, and this process is called as crystallization. Okay, so what is crystallization? On heating, the water gets evaporated and leaving behind the soluble substances or dissolved substances into crystals. This process is called as crystallization. Okay?
Now, children, did you see how the water from the sea, that is the salt water, is collected into the lagoons and they are stored and kept in the sunlight for few days? During this time, due to sun's heat, you can see the water getting evaporated, and slowly only the salt will be left behind, and you can see how the farmers are collecting the salt, and then if there are any impurities, slowly they are separated by different methods, and then they are collected in the form of a pure salt and pack them and deliver to us. So what is the process helpful here? Yes, this is called as crystallization. And now, if you wanted to do the same experiment in our laboratory or in our home, we need some of the requirements like a stove and a bowl and salt and water. Okay, now what we are going to see here is the salt is mixed with water, and you stir it well. If there are any chances for mixing of salt again, you can just heat the salt solution which you have made, and again you can make it super saturated by heating it. You can just still go on, heat it and mix it with a lot of salt, where the water completely dissolves all the salt that you have dissolved there. Okay, and now you can see the salt is completely dissolved in the water. Okay, now if you just go on boil it, you will find that the water gets heated up and then it evaporates. You can see the evaporation of water there. Okay, so after evaporation, slowly, if you can just observe carefully, you can see the water is highly boiled, and due to stirring it doesn't stick to the surroundings of the bowl. Now you can see how it is boiled thoroughly. After boiling it thoroughly, you can find clearly that the water is completely evaporated, leaving behind the salt crystals. Now, here you can see a clear formation of the salt crystals even around the bowl. Okay, so this process is called as crystallization.
Okay, now I hope you enjoyed this video. Right, now I'd like to tell you about another type of separation that's called sublimation. So in this process, actually we know about camphor. Camphor, you know it well. Okay, during the time of giving harati, we light them. Okay, so you know these are called the camphors. Okay, these are called the camphor. Okay, so now you do one thing, you collect some camphor and also some salts. Okay, and then bring both of them into a china dish. Okay, which is a dish which has both the salts in them. These are the salt, this is salt, and now you add some camphor to this. Okay, so this is a camphor. Okay, so now this is called camphor. Okay, so after powdering it well, now with the help of a funnel, okay, so now you take a funnel, okay, and then you take a funnel, okay, close it. This is a funnel. Invert the funnel and close it. You know, actually this is called the funnel, isn't it? So I'll just draw it again. So this is a funnel, isn't it? Right. So invert the funnel and then place it and put some cotton on this. Okay, you can just place some cotton there. Okay, so this is a cotton there. All right. Now with the help of a burner, you start heating this. You start heating this. Okay, so this is a burner. Okay, so this is a burner. When you start heating this, you can see all the camphor. When you started heating this, you can see the camphor slowly starts evaporating. It doesn't even turn to liquid. Directly from solid, slowly it will change into a gaseous vapor. Okay, and then settles at this point. Okay, so what you can see here, the camphor now directly from solid state has changed into the gaseous state. So this process is called as sublimation. Okay, so did you understand what is sublimation? Yes, the changing of solids directly into gases is called as sublimation.
Now, let us look at the requirements for performing this experiment of sublimation. Okay, now you can see a burner, a camphor, or a tripod stand so that we can keep a china dish to heat it, and a inverted conical flask and a plug at the tip of the conical flask. Okay, so these are some of the requirements that we need for this experiment of sublimation. Now collect all the requirements. Take little camphor with the help of a spoon and keep a little amount of camphor in a china dish. Okay, now you know the china dish is placed on a tripod stand and on a gaze. Okay, now take the funnel, invert it and place it, and you can see and switch on the gas burner and light it. You can see the flame coming up and heating the camphor in the china dish. Okay, the inverted funnel on the top, you can see on the stem of the funnel, you can see the cotton there, so that the camphor will not go out of the funnel. Now after heating for some time, you can see the camphor is completely coated surrounding this. This cotton prevents the escape of camphor. Now, can you see how the camphor is surrounding the funnel? Yes. What you can understand from here, the camphor, when we are heating it, it directly changed from solid state to the gaseous state, and when the temperatures are normal, again they became solid and sticked to the conical flask. You can see surrounding the conical flask, when the temperatures are low, the camphor is again coated around the conical flask. Did you understand, children, what is sublimation? Yes, the changing of solids due to heat immediately into a gaseous state is called as sublimation. Now, let us try to understand another type of separation or another method of separating the liquids, especially some of the liquids like ink. Can you separate different colors from a single colored ink? Can it be possible for you, children? Okay, let us try to do a small experiment. Okay, so from a single color, you can see clearly different colors has been coming up. So this type of method is called as chromatography. Chromo means color. Okay, so from a single color, how different colors can be separated. Okay, let us try to see this small experiment and understand what is chromatography.
The children, okay, have you seen these anytime? Yeah, you might have sketched many of your books or diagrams with the help of these sketches. Okay, now what is the color of this sketch? Black color, very good. Are there any colors in this, or only one color is there? Only one color? Okay, let us try to see how many colors are hidden in this. Okay, for this I have taken a piece of chalk and colored this with the help of a black sketch. Okay, for your clarification, now I am going to color this chalk with red color. Okay, can you see this red color now? Okay, yes, it's red color. Okay, fine. Now let us try to separate the colors in this ink. Okay, I am just marking the red color to this corner. Okay, right, you can see different colors here surrounding this. Okay, for this I am just adding little water in the plate. Okay, just look at this. Okay, now carefully just place the piece of chalks. Okay, let us try to adjust this. Okay, right, good, and let us see how they are going to change their colors. Okay, good, let's try to see this. All right, this is a green in color and this is a brown sketch. Okay, and this is a blue one. Okay, just wait for few minutes and try to observe what are the changes that are happening. Okay, yes, you can see slowly the colors have been changing. Okay, right. Yes, did you see the color changes here? Yes, you can clearly identify they are changing. This brown color is having a red color hidden inside it, isn't it? Okay, you can see the black one. Okay, so the black one is also having different colors, isn't it? This process is called as chromatography. Chromo means color. Actually, in the brown color, we have seen only a single brown color. You can see the color here. Okay, so but here you can see different colors, that is a red color also you can see here, and you can see, look at this black colored piece of chalk. Here you can find many colors there, including red and even the orange. Okay, right. Hope you can try this at your home with different colors or sketches. Okay, try to do it. Okay children, I hope you enjoyed this whole class. Okay, so from this today's topic, what did we learn? That there are different types of mixtures around us. In order to enjoy the purity of that, we have to separate them, then only we can use that. Okay, so for this separation, we know that we have different types of measures or different types of separating systems we have. Okay, for example, this is hand picking. Okay, so in the hand picking, you know, with the help of the hand you separate that. Okay, winnowing, with the help of a pan and to the wind they are separated. Sedimentation, the heavier particles reach to the bottom, this is called sedimentation. And decantation, in the process of decantation, we are tilting the clear water and separating from the sediment. So this is called decantation. And coming to the sieving, yes, sieving separates the fine powder. Okay, sieving separates the fine powder from the large particles. And filtration, so in the filtration we know that it has, the sieving system has a very fine pores, and these fine pores will separate very clear substances, or simply we can say fluids can be separated. Okay, so that process is called filtration. Now coming to the crystallization, so you know that when solids dissolved in the water, if you start heating that, so the water gets evaporated, leaving behind the crystals. Okay, that process is called as crystallization. And sublimation, in the sublimation, directly the solids are transformed to the gaseous. Okay, right. And the last one is chromatography. I think you enjoyed the chalks, okay, with different colors. Okay, chromo, the word chromo means color. Okay, so the chrome means color, graphy means writing. Okay, chromatography, the colors are being separated on the chalk, isn't it? Okay, so hope you enjoyed the class. That's all for today. Thank you very much.